I have just played LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and in this video I will be sharing with you some gameplay I recorded, new details, and my opinions from what I played. With more exclusive LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga gameplay videos to come, make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss any of them. Also, thank you so much to TT Games and Warner Bros for allowing me to play the game early. I will start by giving you some much needed context as to what I was allowed to play, what platform it was on, how much time I had to play, and things like that. The playtime was limited to under an hour, and I could only play from the start of A New Hope. This allowed me to go through 2 full missions, start a third, and do a few open world missions. The game was also the PC version, running at max settings at 1080p 60. I was also using a controller to play the game. Warner Bros told me that this was a near final build of the game, but there might still be updates between now and release to fix a few bugs. I did encounter a few bugs, but in terms of performance, it was quite solid. Loading times were quick enough, but I'm unsure what storage device the game was running on, as it was not my PC, but one they supplied to me. So the loading times do not represent what you will receive on, for example, the Xbox One or PS4. On to the gameplay and graphics, the main portion of this video. Firstly, the game was a lot of fun. Time flew by whilst I was immersed in the gorgeous levels and the funny character moments. The game does not repeat the gags from previous LEGO Star Wars games, but rather takes moments in the films we know and love and freshens them up a bit for a new generation. The game is pure joy to play. It is Star Wars at its finest. The care developers at TT Games put in really shines through. Every area you go to has tons of small details and side missions for you to explore. The game makes me want to translate every word of Aurebesh that I see, or speak to every NPC in the worlds. Due to the fact that I was only given a limited time to play the game, I had to rush through the levels, and I skipped so many things, but it had me desperate to go back to when I finally get the game again to explore what I passed. Just from what I saw, it felt like you could spend a couple of hours in Mos Eisley alone, going through every nook and cranny to find what TT Games developers have crafted for us. The game was easy to play right away, but there are layers to learn to the mechanics. I simply did not have enough time with the game to feel at home with the controls or the mechanics. Despite this, I am glad there is more depth to the gameplay than previous LEGO Star Wars games. The first mission, which was the boarding party, was fun, and it's a nice short introduction into the game's mechanics. What I really liked, however, were the Tatooine open world elements around Lars Homestead and Mos Eisley. The Falcon repair mission did get a little bit tedious with how the shooting is, but I'll get into the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of the shooting in just a moment. Also, I only got to play a little bit of the Death Star mission, but the level looks great, and running around causing mischief as Stormtrooper Luke is a lot of fun. A couple of things I did pick up on is that the shooting mechanic felt inconsistent and enemies did sponge bullets. I do think it was designed in this way, which makes sense given that the target audience is quite young. Another personal preference of mine in games is to have a high FOV. In some circumstances, such as small rooms and riding large animals, aiming felt a bit claustrophobic and it was harder to look around with the controller. A little wider FOV would have been better, but that's just my personal opinion. The style of the menus and UI is nice and comfortable for the most part, but despite this, the UI became a little bit overwhelming at times. You can see here there is just a lot of visual noise. It takes away from playing the game. When I was rushed for time as well, it did feel like I need to just focus on getting through the level and skip whatever's on my screen. Speaking of levels, the various ways to get through levels was neat, and I look forward to seeing how this works for other missions. Next, let's take a moment to talk about puzzles, because these are a key pillar of LEGO games. In this game, the puzzles can be figured out instantly, or they may take a moment of thought. One of my favourite outcomes to a puzzle was completing a simple puzzle and then accessing a turret in a room full of troopers and using it against them. It was a lot of fun. One thing that added a bit of frustration to puzzles was the input delay. My reaction times are quite fast in games, and the game would be a bit too slow for my inputs. This might be due to the delay that the stream I was playing on, and not the game itself, so I'm not worried too much at this moment in time. As for the graphics, I was very impressed with how it looks. Even at 1080p, the whole presentation was sharp, and the models of characters and the environments are fantastic. So much of the game is made up of high quality LEGO brick models, and this was also present in the film selector. The dioramas are simple, but a wonderful addition to the game's presentation. The artists at TT Games deserve a lot of praise. They have done an absolutely incredible job making this game look this good. The only negative in this area is that the cutscenes have a choppy frame rate for the characters. The models and textures and lighting are beautiful, but that choppy frame rate is just not good. When you're in game, it's a smooth, locked 60 frames per second, but the characters in the cutscenes are lower than 30 FPS, what it seems like. It's really off-putting. It breaks the immersion. I totally understand that this could be an artistic choice, but I am not a fan of this direction if that's what they went with. Having said that, the sound design complements the game very well. It's great. Each area, be it the music, dialogue, sound effects, or even ambience, it feels like you're in Star Wars, but Lego-ified. Except for a couple of occasions. Some of the voice acting was off.
Jedi Inchmites! Jedi scum!
General Grievous!
General Grievous's voice mixing is not perfect. It doesn't feel like previous games or any other Star Wars media, but then at other times it's fine. It's just a little bit inconsistent. Some of the characters don't sound how we feel like they probably should. But in contrast, other characters are fantastically well acted. When you have the good voice actors and it's paired with a fun script, it works well. I am also disappointed with the PC settings. I expected not much more than LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, but even not getting my hopes up, it still feels like this few options is not good enough. It would have been nice for the PC community to get a bit more of an upgrade. I'm not talking about making the graphics look better, just having more flexibility and customization. There's only a few options, and I just feel like because this is the biggest and best LEGO game yet, it would have been nice that TT Games go out with a bang in this department as well. In conclusion then, from this brief gameplay preview, I can tell that the game is going to be fantastic. The collection of all 9 Skywalker Saga films are going to be faithfully recreated, and aside from the few things I did mention that were a negative, I am still very optimistic. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on anything I've shared in this video, and any questions you might have. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and subscribe for more LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga videos, and if you missed any of the previous videos in the playlist on screen, click it and check it out so you don't miss any of them, and I shall see you in my next Skywalker Saga video. Goodbye.